My name is Karen Jackson, 52 years old. I run my family's hardware business for a living. I've been doing that for 22 years. I have 2 kids, 1 grandchild, 6 cats, and 2 dogs. And I've been running ultra marathons since 2011. And I've been running for fitness, whatever distance, since about 98 or 99. These are all my coins from the Eagle Endurance races. These big ones back here are from the first Last Chance and the first Wambaw Swamp Stomp. That is from his Kings Highway race and the Almost 9 Miler. Oh, and this is cool. You had to decipher a riddle. You were mailed this ribbon that had things written on it. You weren't told how to figure out what it said, but if you roll it around a paper towel tube or a toilet paper tube, it lines all up and it gives you another clue. Once you finished all the parts of the riddle, you were allowed to enter the race. That was for the Tar Heel. This is Karen and Bo reporting from the front of the back of the pack on Topsail Island as day 5 comes to a close on the Tar Heel Ultra 367 mile race. I'm going to take away 2 miles. For the ammo cans, I did a race called the Mattamuskeet Death Race that is in North Carolina around Lake Mattamuskeet. It's about, they call it 100K, but it's really like 66 miles, 66.6 to be exact. But you have to carry an ammo can for no specific reason other than for it to be annoying. Might come as a surprise that it's the same person who made you do the riddle to get into Tar Heel also did this. So, and ours were, the year I did it, he filled, if you were a first timer, he put marbles in your ammo can. And you weren't allowed to take anything out or alter the can in any way. About 3 days a week, I train with other people. Saturdays usually with Chris, and mostly that's dictated by whatever, like the distance, usually whatever he needs to run for his plan. And we meet here and run some route in the neighborhood. I try to pick different things a little bit to mix it up. I have a little route that just sort of takes me around the back of my neighborhood and out to the main highway, Highway 78. And we run down to the St. George Town Hall complex, but they've got a new park. And then we'll run back out to the main highway and run back into St. George. And we may go the other side of St. George and run through the neighborhoods and then back to my house. Really early on in ultra running, started running very minimalist. Before I ran ultras, I was running a lot of 5Ks, 10Ks, and I had run a couple marathons. But once I got past the marathon distance, I found that I was having trouble with back pain and plantar fasciitis and some other things. And I noticed that a lot of times the way I could combat it would just be, I would finish runs by actually taking my running shoes off and walking in or jogging in completely barefoot or in my sock feet. So I started looking for some minimalist shoes, some zero drop and things like that. I eventually found the Luna sandals, which is basically just a flip-flop with a back strap and rubber sole. I just love the feel of being able to flex my foot, of not having my toes confined in a toe box. And some people think it's nonsense, but I've not had plantar fasciitis in 10 years, and the lower back pain, other than associated with having a pack or something like that on my shoulders for 300 miles, pretty much disappeared.
So I'm 51. I've lived in Charleston for about 28 years. I've had 2 sons. Peyton, he passed away when he was 9 in 2013, and we have a son, Miles, who is 6 and who was born in 2015. I am a local realtor, and I put on two crazy races every year, the Charleston 100 and Peyton's Wild and Wacky Ultra.
So the Charleston 100 it's a free event put on by Noah Moore. So you have to provide your own aid. Noah doesn't provide anything other than he makes sure that you don't die out there. You have to do check-ins twice a day to report where you are.
Head over to the track, please.
Strides? We've been there.
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
You too. Have it. Oh, we've had
The idea of running across Charleston County is how it started. My wife and I would take my son Peyton to these track events in Myrtle Beach. And on the way back, we would start talking about, how cool would it be to run across Charleston or run down Highway 17. So after my son died in 2013, was in June, I went through that whole few months kind of in a daze, and it got to the holidays. I did not know how I was going to get through the holidays, and I came up with this idea thinking about that. For 3 days straight, I would just run across Charleston County. I wasn't even thinking about it as the Charleston 100. A few years later, I was running around the track with Karen Jackson, and we were one of my crazy 12-hour events. And Karen said, God, wouldn't it be so cool if we could run across Charleston like you did, but make it a journey run, make it this race, but not a race. And I started thinking, okay, I could put this together. And I drew it out on the map. I knew how I wanted it to go, but I didn't want everybody to do the same one that I did. So I did it backwards.
Remember, you're going to come back. You're going to do 4 laps. The last lap that you do is going to be the timed lap, 400 meters. And I'm going to time you, and that's for the big trophy. Everything else doesn't even matter. Male and female winner on that. And then you finish, after you do your timed 400, you walk out, touch the rock. That's Peyton's rock. And then you are done. And 2 things on the course. There's a bunch of out and backs. You got to do them. There's plenty of places you could cheat on this. This is all on your honor. Station 28.
This is pretty relaxed, but again, there's no really scheduled aid. So if you really want specific things or want to make sure that you have aid along the way, you can have a crew. And it's a 50 miles out and 50 miles back. It starts in Mount Pleasant at Park West and goes all the way to the West Ashley Greenway. And you run to the end of the Greenway, turn around and go back.
Everybody remember, it's not a race, it's a journey run. Everybody got it? That's the standard line for police. There's no road closures in this. Be careful, it's open roads. Most of it is sidewalk or the greenway. It's beautiful. Oh my God, you guys got the best weather ever. I mean, it's December. It's almost January. So I know it's a little warm for you.
The community that I've found in ultra running is very much like a family. You have relatives in every place that you've ever run and from every place that other people have come to run. It's a whole family of misfits, of the crazy cousins that show up at Christmas dinner, but we're not misfits when we're together because we're all so much alike.
You got about 1.5 minutes. Guys, thank you for being here. I know a lot of you guys, who's been here, who's done it before? We got 2 people who have done it every single year, Bo and Karen over there. And most of you guys know I do this because of my little boy. This was Peyton's track. This is named after him. This is something we came up with years ago, and I appreciate you guys being here. This is how we get through our holidays. And so thank you guys. And so I'll be cheering you on. Peyton will be cheering you on. Miles will be running around here. So a few more seconds, and you're going 4 laps around. So come on up, spread out. Yep. 5 minutes. I want to see it.
Maybe on the way back.
And go!
About a year after I ran my first marathon, a local friend of mine came to me and said, I heard you ran a marathon and I'd really like to pick your brain. And he and I started training together. And in the course of training, we kind of found out that this thing called an ultra existed. And I texted him one day and said, hey, do you think it's crazy to run a trail 50K a month before our target marathon? And he said, yes, but if you're in, I'm in. Sign me up for whatever you're doing.
All right, good job, Ryan. Let's go, Karen.
99 left. What?
Have fun. Good seeing you, Nathan. Bye, guys. See you soon.
And that was in October of 2011. And first thought it was the most awful thing that I'd ever done to myself. But by the time I got home from it, I couldn't wait to find another one.
So Karen as a runner is amazing to watch. A lot of people have no idea how she does it. She has this incredible sense of knowing what to bring and what not to bring, because every ounce matters. She has just, over the years, become stronger and stronger. But I also see the fact that she really enjoys it. You don't take that much time off of work to do something you don't like. And she supports so many people. You know, Karen can walk as fast as most people can run. So she will change her stride to stick with you for a long time, just to make sure that she got to spend some time with you. So that's a strong runner, because she can still finish in these incredible times.
You know, a swing in prices, then it'd be good for them to have.
When you come off of the Isle of Palms connector at 10 miles, the Harris Teeter, that was one of the stops that maybe took us a little bit longer. The parking lots don't seem that big, but when you're providing your own aid and having to go in and buy stuff, it takes a little extra time. Bo and I have been together for about 8 years. We met through running, and we don't necessarily always run the same pace, but we match up well because I can't always run as fast as he runs, but he can't walk as fast as I walk, and we get often a little bit of a leapfrog thing going with each other, because we've learned that if you're running together, you're always going the slowest person's pace, which is really hard on both people. So we've adopted a little bit of a, like I said, a leapfrog if we can't keep the other person's pace the whole time. Charleston is probably more suited to me. I'm usually the one that feels a little bit better overall throughout the race. Bo, having been in the upstate his whole life and running more trails and hills and things like that, but on the road, he struggles to keep up with me, and it's just a difference in what we're used to, I think.
So there's no support out there, except for the fact that this running community is so incredible that they just show up and put aid stations out everywhere. There's tables, there's some people order pizzas for the runners, there's water that's dropped off. Some people just drive around and drop off water for the runners. So the race has developed into this community event, and even if they can't run 100 miles, they want to be part of it.
We're winning something. We're winning that life for first place.
says Charleston 100 runners do it all day. Yes. All right.
Usually all night.
Yeah.
How was it so far?
Good.
You guys about 4 hours in?
About 4 hours in. It's hot. Hotter than I expected. We're chilling.
How many miles you guys in so far?
I got 17 and a half. Right now, 17 and a half. Oof.
A lot of
Yeah,
hours
the turn
ago.
at that gas station is about 18, almost 19 miles.
I think we're moving right around probably a 13, 14 minute per pace. So nothing. If we can keep that up, we'll be good.
My hands got sticky.
This girl, the person that lives in this house, she won it one year. She's out here running now, isn't she? She's just a little bit faster than we are.
All right.
I got Cheeto dust on me. See y'all guys.
The feel of it is so different from marathons. One of the last road marathons that I ran, I actually fell, and the two women behind me ran around me and didn't even ask if I was okay, try to help me up, forget any of that. And that would never happen in an ultra. Someone's behind you when you fall, they're gonna stop and pick you up. In fact, probably someone in front of you, if they hear it happen, is gonna stop and turn around to check on you. And you know, they're eating pizza, and you know, you go to a marathon and it's like gels and a cup of water if you're lucky, and you go to an ultra and it's like pizza and M&Ms and beer. And I'm like, whoa, I found my people. Nobody told me this existed. You know, and I just fell in love with it, and it, you know, eventually kind of turned into my social group as well.
But this is the one sort of tricky section for me a little bit. All right, guys.
All right,
Okay.
good. See you guys. I'll see you out there.
Okay.
All right, guys. See you guys.
All right.
I'll break out the tattoo later.
All right.
Let you and both share
Yeah.
a moment.
Did I throw my wrong cap away? Are you serious? Holy, here it is.
It's all mine, just so everybody knows.
I don't think you have a problem with that. Whew, got it.
My little dumpster diver.
The dumpster diver. Got it back though.
He's all mine, ladies. Y'all get it.
We felt pretty good, but in the past, Bo has typically done better than me on any kind of hill. But I was consistently ahead of him going uphill.
Separation has begun. It has begun. Mile 30. That's usually when it happens.
Mile 30, oh wow.
That's usually when she breaks free.
Yeah, she's going really fast.
Yeah. She's got a fast walk.
And I had to pick at him a little bit. I said, where are those glutes you keep talking about? They should be carrying you straight up this hill. You're usually faster than I am anyway on an uphill. I don't know how. And I told him it was just because he's not running as many long training runs as I am. So his endurance, even for the uphills, is not as good as mine. But yeah, so we were doing that and kind of laughing about the fact that I managed to beat him up the hill. For that for a few years.
Suitcase scooter.
I love that.
Yeah. Let me borrow that scooter.
Down the Greenway. I hate the Greenway. Despise the Greenway at night. Like, if there was something I could eliminate from the whole race, it would be probably the Greenway. If I could get to the Greenway in the daylight, I think I would probably feel differently about it. But you can't see any of the things that make the Greenway scenic when we get there in the dark. So it's just dark. It's just dark and long.
You already tired of it?
I know, I mean, I get what you're saying about how it's like a chance to zone out and all.
Yeah. Oh, it'll get old to me too. I don't want him to take it out though.
I wish it was earlier or something.
Yeah, it sucks. It's on that, you know, right at the end.
Halfway, it's not right.
But you know, I've heard people say, "Oh, I wish you'd take that." No, I don't want you to take the Greenway out. It's a chance.
That's the one place where I got in a hole that he didn't, because I just was over it. Hated it, didn't want to be there, wanted to get away from it. I think at some point I actually did start running because I just wanted to get off the Greenway. Like I just was so like, I can't take this dark nowhere much longer. One way would be okay, but 8 miles out and 8 miles back in the pitch dark with no scenery that never changes. Some parts of it seem a little bit sketchy. I could do without the Greenway.
Good morning.
How'd Trevor end up?
What's that?
How did Trevor finish?
Well, he's not finished yet.
Oh,
he's
he's
still,
not?
yeah, he's still,
Oh, I thought he was.
yeah, he's still running.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's more than what I'm doing.
He's still a
if he's
whole lot
running.
closer than we are.
Yeah, I'd trade places with him in a heartbeat. Started passing a few people and
Wow.
It makes you feel better.
makes you feel better, you know. That makes you. It's not like because.
Not because we necessarily want to
No, it's not
beat
trying.
anybody, but
No, it's not. It's it makes you feel like you're making progress, you know.
Yeah.
And
and when you see somebody up ahead that you think you can catch, it gives you a little motivation
to
move
work
forward.
hard.
Yeah.
You know, let's go catch them, you know. And
There was the one time that we both were a little bit chilly, and Bo was almost happy that he got cold because he wore a backpack for the sole reason of carrying this puffy jacket because he was sure that it was going to get cold enough to need it. And then he had complained most of the day about carrying this jacket the whole way that he wasn't going to need.
I don't have that mental toughness. If she told me right now, you want to get an Uber back, I'd say I'll pay for it.
All I had was my long sleeve shirt that I had on and gloves. And I said that that would be plenty as long as we kept moving fast enough. And I never got cold enough to regret not bringing something warmer. But even though we wound up in a little bit of a bad spot, I think he was happy that he had a reason to put his coat on.
She let me sleep for what, about 20 minutes?
That's right.
Sometimes, just like out here, you know, we come across and somebody may have an aid station. We'll sleep in, like out here one time we slept where we're going now, at Becca's. We slept at her, no, it's that way.
That's not.
Where the table was yesterday?
Yes,
Yeah, it
down
was
there.
that way. Yeah.
They went that way.
Well, maybe they were already coming back.
Oh,
first
okay, yeah, okay.
And came in here. Because we'll pass back by here. Going back out the other way.
Are we ready?
I'm ready. I almost sat down because you were sitting there. I was going to go as soon as I came out the door.
Okay. Wheels back on. I'm gonna smoke your ass on that damn track.
Go ahead. You ain't smoked my ass much.
No, I haven't.
When you finish smoking my
Yeah.
ass, how about going and tell them how you got there?
Yeah, but hey, I just want to get there. And to be just, I'm so happy. I ain't there yet, so I better hush my mouth. Might be laying out in front of that Special K again.
The IOP connector Bo hates that. Like, if there's one thing that he would take out of it, and I said, you know, there's no way to take the Isle of Palms connector out and back. I mean, you know, you can't get to the other places without crossing the Isle of Palms connector. But he doesn't like it a whole lot going out, but you feel good and it's early, so it doesn't seem as bad. But coming back the next day and the traffic and the thing just seems to go on forever.
Right here.
What on God's great earth do we have to do?
Look at y'all.
Just a mere 4 laps.
4? What happened to 1?
That's exactly what the heck I said.
That's what I thought.
I mean,
You can do this stuff if you want. Yeah. One less thing to carry.
The last lap around the track is called the Charleston 400 meter. And it's a completely separate timed event. It's still part of the Charleston 100, so their time is still going. But we time that 400 meter, and it is pretty crazy to watch people try to run as fast as they can after running 100 miles.
That doesn't count.
Cassie, watch this last one. Watch this last loop. We're racing. Tell me, right there, right?
And that is purely for my enjoyment. And this year it was great because Bo Millwood actually won it, and he beat the person right before him by 2 seconds, so he finished in 1:40.
Oh, he got it.
I got it.
140.
Yes.
Oh my God. Come on, Karen. Got you, Karen.
we almost saw all the crap I've ate from the last
Touch the
3
rock.
I said, you go get it.
You got it, buddy. You got
And I
it.
tried to pick it back up once,
You
and I was
got
like,
it, man.
no.
Awesome job.
Yeah.
That is a great job.
Oh man, you make it extra hard this year.
I know.
Yeah,
All right, you guys got to touch the rock.
Oh, shoot, my turn. You ready?
No one would tap me on the shoulder and say, go touch the rock.
Oh, here you go.
All right.
And 1, 2, 3. Gotcha. Awesome job, you guys.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Let me get everybody. Here's this one.
Hours so we can just get out everything else's way.
Michael.
And a lot of people want that Charleston 100 buckle, and I want them to have it. There's nothing better than than that feeling of me handing that buckle to them, because as much as it is, people feel like this is a gift to be able to run this. It's a gift to me for them to run it and finish it every year.
Thing again.
My future plans for running are pretty much to hopefully be able to do it for the rest of my life on some level, even if it's just includes a lot of walking. I want to stay involved in the running community, the ultra community. I think I'm still pretty far from the time when I won't be able to make 100-mile cutoffs, but I know that day will come. So I don't think all of my best running is behind me, but as long as I can keep doing it and enjoying it, I will accept whatever else life things come along with it.
All my walls are caught in words. them see a hint of fear. Lines and doors, zoom in, zoom out. Open your window, let them hear you shout. Right on the poles, right on the street. Always remember the future is near. Cut some cords, scratch some scars. Put on your cape and jump from the car. Open your mouth, take a deep breath. Run fast and don't stop at the end. You can be anything.